What's going on, Jerome's? So the Minnesota Vikings allegedly lost 34-23 against the Detroit Lions. They could have had a chance to secure the division and blah 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 and all those all that funds and games and funsies and all that stuff, but they didn't do it. They did not do it. And the Vikings are 10-3. This is not a back to the drawing board situation, although for the defense it may be. But quarterback Kirk Cousins, who frankly played one of the best games of his career, if not the best, completing 31-41, had 124-plus quarterback rating, 2 touchdowns, 425 yards. And he was just dropping dimes under duress, under pressure, trying to keep this team in the damn game as the defense kept giving up yards and points and time off the clock and blah, blah, blah. But Kirk Cousins had some poignant comments after the game, and he is 100% correct. This is compiled by Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who is not Carl Gerbschmidt. Kirk Cousins had an interesting answer when asked about the need for leadership to keep players' eyes on the ball. The silver lining of a loss, he said, is that can lead to more concrete attempts to correct things. Full quote, blah, 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 blah. So here's a full quote. I don't want to go through this whole thing. Oh, by the way, people ran with the whole silver lining thing. It's like, oh, you're talking about silver lining and loss, or Kirk Cousins loser. No, it's ridiculous. That's again, that's people headline reading and taking things out of context because they're just looking for a brick to hit Kirk Cousins with. Anyways, here's what I said. On the leadership, it will require to close the door on clinching the NFC North. I think the silver lining, you never want to lose. I think the silver lining of a loss is the constructive work you're going to do now to get things corrected. I think that will always be there when you lose, and when you win, it's always tempting to look past mistakes that get made. I'm not saying that's happened, but it can be tempting. When you lose, there's that urgency that's naturally there that creates some good improvement. So that's a silver lining, but you need leadership after wins. You need leadership after losses that will always be there to keep everybody focused and ready to go for the next challenge. And he's right. He's right. The Vikings, when they were tiptoeing through the tulips of those 9 straight single-score wins, it's very easy because you're winning. So, ooh, good vibrations. But when you get humbled, that's when you go back to the drawing board. That's when you have a hard look at yourself in the mirror. That's when you make some changes to the coaching staff. Maybe. But looking at the last couple games, and the Vikings 1-score win against Arizona after the bye, cool. The Commies win, which, little bit of a near-run thing, but you can never sneeze at a road win in the National Football League. The Bills game, euphoria, apex. Even though it's like you gave up 30 points, you got down 17, you got a couple breaks go your way, and then you capitalized on them. The Dallas game, ugh. So games like the Dallas game, also like the Philly game, are ones where you just completely have to look inward. It's like, hey, it wasn't close. Like, it wasn't close. We were handled today. So we got to change, and it wasn't bad luck. It wasn't one bounce of the ball. It wasn't one bad refereeing decision. We got our asses kicked. And I think that's why the Vikings, they buckled down on a short week. They got after it against the Patriots, even though they made Mac Jones look like Tom frickin' Brady, as well as the Jets game where, Mike White's good, but Mike White is not that good. Also, they allowed the Jets to come back from a 20-3 deficit. But, hey, you won, right? So maybe it's just painting over and glossing over some of the deficiencies that this defense does have. And where Kirk Cousins, I don't think specifically he's calling out anyone, but I think that there is a little bit of truth in saying that, hey, when you lose, you need to make concrete decisions to fix things. But when you win, it's really easy to gloss over. It's like, hey, all we do is win no matter what. And, yeah, we said that the Vikings went. Yeah, coming back in the fourth quarter, Kirk Cousins has 6 fourth-quarter come-from-behind drives and game-winning drives this season. It's great to have in your back pocket to be able to fight through adversity because you're going to face adversity, but how about just getting out to a nice lead and cruising to a double-digit victory? How about that? Like, can we do that? And I think that this was a wake-up call where they went into this game. They could have secured the division, and they went in as 2.5-point underdogs. So, Kevin O'Connell had all that motivation at his fingertips, but the defense didn't respond. Overall, the offense at times looked inert, even though they were able to put up points. It would have been a lot more if they actually had more time of possession, but the defense couldn't get their ass off the field. They had issues with special teams, which was odd, but this should refocus this team because, hey, guess what? Like, we're still 99% to win this division. All it takes is one win by us. So let's get a win on Saturday against the Colts. We're 4.5-point favorites. We're back at home, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. Baru, the Gallahorn, 2 straight home games against 2 very beatable teams in the Colts and the Giants. So let's get to 12-3. Let's suck it up. Let's secure the 2 seed, and let's get some changes done on defense, and let's get some momentum going into the playoffs. That's exactly what needs to happen, and Kirk Cousins was 100% right with his assessment after the game on Sunday. But your thoughts are thoughts. Kirk Cousins, 100% right. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts and his thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.